Do you ever find yourself still having those moments where you think, we're planning a trip to Paris to watch our daughter at the Summer Olympics?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's kind of surreal. You know, you'd never think 15 years ago when we started climbing, because it was not an Olympic sport. It wasn't even on the radar of becoming an Olympic sport. And then here we are, 2024, Emma's going to the Olympics. It's it's really weird.
Do you think about what that will be like when you're actually watching her on the wall in Paris?
I don't let myself think about it because I get really nervous. So, no, I don't think about it.
Now, I can only imagine as a mom how nerve-wracking it would be, maybe more nerve-wracking to watch the daughter you love compete than if you were doing it yourself.
Absolutely. And she says the same thing about watching her friends and teammates, that it's harder to watch. It's super hard to watch, especially speed, because anything can happen. It's more nerve-wracking to watch.
Does she get pretty nervous? What is she like before a competition?
She's very regimented.
Yes.
Yeah, she has her routines that she sticks to, and she doesn't vary from those. And I think that's part of the reason she does well is, she knows what works for her and she sticks to it.
Certain kind of focus.
Yes. I also don't ask her if she's nervous ever. I've gone to all of her competitions but one, when you went to China.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, two, and when you went to Ecuador. And I didn't go on those trips, but all of them, I just let her do her own thing. I'm there to support her. But I never ask her if she's nervous.
Does she have a competition mode?
She has a competition mode.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's intense.
Mm-hmm.
She's really focused, and we do everything the same way for each one most of the time. And it works really well for her. It works really well for me too. I also have a competition mode. Most of the time I don't stand with the other athletes' parents. I watch the men with the other athletes' parents, but when Emma's going, I just kind of go and stand by myself.
I really appreciate you welcoming us into your home. I think such a big part of every Olympian story is the family, because it's something a family really does together. How would you put the journey into words?
Pretty amazing. Yeah, I mean, it's really cool to see from where they started at 5 years old to now. I mean, it's a pretty amazing journey, and then to be able to say she's going to the Olympics is, that's special.
You're making me
When it was there was a point, like you said, it wasn't on the radar. What are you feeling? What do you feel as he says that?
I'm just so happy for her and proud of her for finding a dream and doing it. I think it's so amazing that she's done that for herself.
Yeah.
I'm just really proud of her for finding something she loves and figuring out how to make it happen. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's sacrificed a lot to get where she is, where a lot of other athletes, maybe go have extracurricular activities. She's given a lot of that up just so that she can focus on what she wants to do, and it's paid off.
I love how you said that, finding a dream and then pursuing it, because it speaks to what you're saying too. It's one thing to identify it, but then to really do anything required to get there is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of hard work.
Yeah, a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah.
She seems to still love it though, to really love it. I watch her kind of light up when she talks about it.
She does love it. I think that's part of the reason that she's done so well, is that she genuinely not just loves climbing, but loves speed climbing. She really loves that rush of going fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something about the Olympics that I love so much, because you meet so many athletes that aren't in it, for fame or money or, really because it does come down to a pure desire for a sport and a love of a sport, and other things may come, but there is something special about that, I think.
Yeah, and the fact that she's the first ever Olympian to qualify in speed climbing is also really pretty cool as well.
Yeah, your daughter will always be in the history books.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And it all started at the mall.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, we were actually at that mall out in Gwinnett.
Outlet Mall, yeah. At the Bass Pro Shop.
That has a Bass Pro Shop, the big Discovery Mills, when they first built it in Gwinnett. And we walked in and Keith was like, that looks fun. I've always wanted to try it. I was like, go try it. So he did, and he was like, I really like that. It was really hard and
Yeah,
fun.
it was really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. At that point, I was doing martial arts and everything and attracted to things that were difficult. And, and I was like, oh, how hard can it be? And it was really humbling to try and climb up the wall. And I'm like, wow, this is really hard. And lucked out that there was a climbing gym a half a mile from my office. And just started going to the gym every day and started dragging them along.
Yeah.
And, the kids took to it like fish to water. And, and they just kept going.
And then I feel like the climbing community is a really welcoming and inclusive community, and they were just like, sure, come on. And so they taught us how to climb, and they took us outside climbing. Them being so welcoming, like a really special part of our beginning, our journey. And for 3 years, we didn't even know that there was like a whole entire youth climbing scene. Like, we had no idea. Then the gym got a coach for the youth kids. So they started learning from a coach, and then got them going into some local competitions. And I remember going to our first competitions and being like, oh, this is so crazy. Because truly, all of the parents and kids cheer for every kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a really unique, special community where the kids want to do well themselves, but they also want to see the boulder topped. Like they want, and the parents all want the kids to feel good. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's when you look at, I did Taekwondo, competed in Taekwondo and did it for 12 years. And where your success is always somebody else's failure. It's not like that in climbing, it's just you and the rock wall. And so if they will cheer for everybody else because they want everybody else to do their best. Obviously they want to win, but they know that they just have to beat the wall, not the other people. And so it creates a unique environment for the competitors because they are so supportive of each other.
So as you are in Paris, there will be a huge community here celebrating and feeling a part of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, she comes from a climbing team of like 300 kids.
We have 300. Mm-hmm.
So, there's a lot of people who'll be cheering for her back just on her team alone.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, we'll have to have a crew here that comes to watch parties and documents all that so you can see all that when you get back
cool.
too. We'll make sure to do that. So we'll stay coordinated about that.
Okay.
Remind me.
Yeah,
but we'll definitely do that here.
I think the gym will be doing a watch party at the gym and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, they've already talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's terrific. I've asked Emma the question, but for you all, what does it mean to you to see her represent the climbing community here at home, the state of Georgia, and Team USA?
I'm just really proud of her. Every time that she gets to put on the Team USA jersey and compete for the U.S., it's a really special thing to watch. And I think she's a great ambassador of the sport and for Team USA as well.
Yeah, I think that for all of the youth kids, being able to put on a USA climbing jersey, sorry, I'm so emotional. Being able to put on a USA climbing jersey is a really big deal. Like, they all want to be on the national team and travel abroad to represent their country. So the first thing is getting that US team jersey. And then when you get a full Team USA jersey, that's like a whole nother level of pride. Yeah.
You spend a lot of hours at the gym too.
Yes.
Talk to me about how much you see the younger ones look up to Emma.
Oh my gosh, it's so adorable. It's especially the little girls. Although there are a whole bunch of like maybe boys who have really gotten into speed. They're like 14, 15, 16. that really look up to her and want to chase her on the wall and train with her. So that's really fun. But the little girls, it's really cute to see them come up. And some of them are the children of athletes who when we started climbing with. They were on the U.S. team. And now they have like 13-year-old daughters who are going to camps with Emma and love it when Emma hands them down a sweatshirt or something. Like, it's really special to see that.
Yeah. And it's pretty neat because Emma was very fortunate when she was coming up through the youth ranks that she had older girls who were really kind and to look up to and everything. And now she's really kind of taking that torch on, and she's a mentor to the younger girls and everything. And it's pretty special to watch.
You know, she is a big deal. I mean, she is. I get to say that. I get to say that. But she's got this really special humility about her that stands out to me.
Yeah, she's crazy humble. She does not like to brag about herself, like at all.
Mm-hmm.
At all. Yeah.
That's our job now.
Yeah. I always say, like, you can say that you're the record holder, and she's like, well, I was like, but you can say it. But she's pretty humble about it.
At what point did you look at her and say, this is a lot more than a hobby? She is really gifted.
Probably when she won her first youth nationals, it was kind of like, okay, she's doing really well. Then a couple months later, they had the adult national championships, and she signed up to kind of get some experience and everything because it was her first year of eligibility at the adult level. And her former coach, who is a USA team coach, was there. And I remember she came up to me, she's like, you know, Emma could win this, right? It's like, no, I mean, this is the adult stuff. No, you know, she's like, no, she can win it. And then sure enough, she ended up winning, you know, and it really kind of shook USA Climbing because they'd never had, like, you know, 15-year-old national champion or anything, and they weren't really prepared for it. And
neither were we.
Yeah, neither were we. And her coach, Meg, was like, yeah, USA Climbing needs to get prepared because there's a lot of strong kids coming up. And sure enough, you know, shortly after that, she went on to break the record for the first time. And, you know, I forgot how many, 19 times later she's broken, 21 times later she's broken her own record and everything. And, you know, but that was the first time was like when she was, you know, won that open. It's like, wow, okay, yeah, she could really do this. And that was right when they had the first time they had selected the athletes for Olympics, and she was not eligible in that pool at that time. So, you know, that's when she was like, you know, I really want to go to the Olympics, you know, 4 years out, and that's what her goal has been. And, you know, and it's crazy. You know, she did work so hard to achieve it. She did.
So she really set that 4 years ago, and here we are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. And then we got up when they were in Tokyo, and we got up every morning at 3 and watched them. Yeah. That was an exhausting week.
Yeah, and then when they announced that speed climbing was going to be its own discipline instead of being lumped in with the other two, it was kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, this is a real possibility, and you know, and she really went all in for it. So
like, this is made for her.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, whose idea was the rock wall in the garage?
Mine.
Yeah, 1,000%.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It gave them a chance to create their own climbs in the garage and train when they couldn't go to the gym. And during COVID, it was a godsend during COVID because we couldn't go to any gyms. So it really gave Emma opportunity to keep training, which gave her a big advantage during COVID because there were a lot of people who didn't have that. So.
And it let Ethan, when he has a project for an outside climb, he can set the moves in the garage using the holds that we have, or he'll purchase holds to be able to
Practice it.
practice the moves and get good at the moves before he goes out and does the project outside.
How long did it take to do this little DIY project?
So they thought forever. I think like 2 weekends.
It was like 2 weekends of solid construction, but not as long as they think. They were younger.
They were younger.
But they did have to drill in all the holes, and they had to put in all the screws and all the T-nuts. And so, yes, it was a lot of little work, but the actual construction took about 2 weeks.
So that was a
Yeah.
fun family project too.
Well, I don't know if they'll call it fun, but yes.
It was a family project.
It was a family project.
You thought it was fun.
It was
I
fun.
thought it was fun a good amount of the time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mess that I wasn't
Yeah.
super psyched on. But yeah, and they got to learn like how to build some things, which was pretty cool. Like, yeah, I mean, they got to learn how to
And they-
Emma got to learn how to use a drill properly, and
And they've learned how
Yeah.
to do, they call route setting. The people who create the climbs are called route setters. And so they got to learn how to route set. And Ethan route set for a while and everything. And so it's a good learning tool.
What was Emma like as a little girl?
she was
Feisty.
She was feisty, definitely feisty. I always tell the story that at 9 months, she crawled out of her crib. And I just like was downstairs and heard a thud when she was napping, went upstairs, and she was just standing there in the middle of her room. And I was like, hey, what you doing? So I put her back in the crib, and then I like cracked the door and watched her like push, like mantle up, throw her leg over, and then just like flop like in a thud to the ground. And I was like, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, you're done with a crib. We're just gonna have to put the mattress on the floor and then get you like a little toddler bed.
Yeah. And when she was young, and she used to love running. When she was in school, she'd be part of the running club and everything, and she used to love running fast. And she was always faster than the boys, and they would always try and catch her, but she's always been fast. So
Yeah.
speed climbing was like a natural fit for her.
Yeah.
A climber from the start and competitive from the start.
Yes.
Yes. I think yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't it fun how you have the experience of seeing where she is now, and you think back on those stories in kind of an incredulous way, like, wow, who would have thought,
Yeah.
what that story at 9 months means today around the
true.
Summer Olympics,
that's
right?
True, yeah.
Wow. Well, it stands out to me how much she is juggling on her plate. School, she's still doing college at Kennesaw State University, Olympic athlete, she is a busy young lady.
She is.
And I a few times have been like, are you sure you want to take classes? You're training for the Olympics. Are you sure you want to do this? But she really likes the schedule, and she wants to maintain that academic side as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She likes to stay engaged with it, and yeah.
And then baking's a great outlet too.
Baking's a great outlet. Not for the rest of us, though, because it's too good. You eat too much of it, so. But yeah.
Yeah.
She's a good baker.
Then you just need a little more time on the garage wall.
It's true.
This is true.
Well, that's great. Well, we really appreciate getting to go along on the ride.
Oh,
We're
thank
so
you for your
excited to
interest.
follow her journey, and I'm so glad we'll all be there together in Paris. That's going
Yeah.
to be incredible.